Well, the saga began when William W. Stow, an influential and powerful individual in San Francisco, purchased over 1,000 acres of the Los Dos Pueblos Rancho here in Goleta. And he sent his 21-year-old son, Sherman, to begin a ranch on this undeveloped property.
Well, the Goleta Valley, I think, is so rich for agriculture, and part of it is because for thousands of years the mountains have been eroding, all that topsoil washes down here, things grow, they decay, compost, more topsoil comes down. So now you get these new people out here, people like the Hollisters and the Coopers, the Sextons and the Stows, and they look at this land and they not only take in traditional crops, they start experimenting with new and unusual crops and just see what this paradise can grow for them. And so the Garden of Eden period has long since passed, but for these new settlers in the Goleta Valley, it's a match made in heaven.
One of the most important things that Sherman did was he planted what we think is the first commercial lemon orchard in the Goleta Valley. And this was basically the beginning of the lemon industry as we now know it, which the Goleta Valley is known for.
Hello there, I'm J.J. Hollister. I'm privileged to be here at the Patera Ranch and the Stow House. I'm cousins to the Stows, and we have been neighbors from the 1870s. My grandfather was born over at the Corona del Mar. It's now called Glen Annie Canyon. Annie James Hollister was my great-grandmother. And so these two neighbors, each with about a 3,000 acres of ranch spread, we called them in those days, were close neighbors as well as operating ranches together in the same manner. We had walnuts and lemons, and besides that we had a cattle operation, and those cattle operations were part of what I was able to do to help Gary with his ranch operation as a relative and as a guest. We rode the ranch and we took care of the cattle. We also were able to go over and spend some time in the Western Canyon, where he had a barbecue area, and we could visit with his friends and relatives that he invited to the barbecues. But the best of all was being here in the headquarters of the ranch where the family lived from time to time. And the fact that this home represented really the Valley of Goleta's main occupation, which was ranching and agriculture. Because it was all together, families together, the road, Hollister Avenue, connecting all these ranches together on its way to Santa Barbara. It was just Goleta at its best.
Hi, I'm Robin Cederloff, and I am proud to represent the Goleta Valley Historical Society as their president. My great-great-grandfather, George Washington Hill, and his family offloaded near Goleta Beach after a long sailing journey around the Horn in 1874. They quickly settled in the good land and began farming lima beans. The Goleta Valley Historical Society, an all-volunteer organization, assumed stewardship of historic Rancho La Patera in 1967. The ranch is most noted for the elegant Stow House, which up until the 1960s was home to generations of the Stow family. The Society's mission remains simply to collect, preserve, and to promote Goleta's rich history. To fulfill this mission, a restoration campaign for Rancho La Patera is now underway. There are 5 components. The visitor and administrative complex will include an interpretive center which will house exhibits and a visitor service area which will have a bookstore. Our History Education Center will provide hands-on exhibits and educational programs for school children, as well as a group meeting and event facility. The architectural and preservation assessment of the Stow House is vital to the Society's mission in accurately telling the story of the Stow family home. The property as an arboretum will showcase the diverse and historic plants and trees surrounding Stow House. And lastly, the endowment will provide income for normal upkeep and basic needs, making this beautiful property available for future generations to experience and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Larry Crandell. The Stow House and the La Patera Ranch are a piece of history that's frozen in time. We're going to unfreeze it just a little bit with our 1.9 million campaign. Good news, we're almost half there. 1.9 million. What a bargain that is. Imagine docents in period costumes parading the grounds, and triple the number of children from 500 to 1,500 each year. Won't you help us? Thank you.